Hello everyone, Daisy here again with another layout for Spiegel Mom Scraps. This month we're using watercolor and shaker pockets as our inspiration. So I started out with this grid design here, and I just created it using some watercolors and some painter's tape to kind of mark it off. And now I am cutting out kind of a frame out of this one gray rectangle here, and that's where my shaker pocket's going to go. I came up with this idea because of the Secret Not Secret Kit Club scrap party. There was actually a not grid layout, and so what I was going to do is use flowers and create kind of a grid design without actually using a grid. But then I decided I wanted to use these watercolors, and then it turned into like a whole different thing. So it worked better for this project. So I'm just peeling off this painter's tape, and painter's tape peels really well off of paper, so if you have not thought of using that before, I highly recommend it. Definitely go slow when you're peeling it off just to make sure that it doesn't catch on any of the paper, but it releases really well. And I find it works better than washi tape because washi tape tends to not seal very well along the edges. Sometimes the adhesive doesn't go all the way out to the edges, so the painter's tape is just the right tool for the job here. So now I'm sorry if you can hear my daughter in the background. She's yelling at the dog. So now I am picking out my color scheme here, and I am going to be using these three, and it's Girly Glitter, Sparkle Power, and Peacock Strut. And so I'm just going to add these in. I'm actually going to, because I'm almost out of the Sparkle Power sequins, so I'm going to take the card out of this little baggie, and that is what I'm going to use to create my shaker pocket, is the little baggie that the sequins actually come in. It works perfectly. I'm just going to mix a bunch of them together, and I'm going to put in a lot. I wanted to save a few of these sequins because these are probably one of my most favorite sequin mixes, so I'm pouring a few out, and then I'm adding some of these other ones in. And as you can see, I have a bunch of flowers off to the sides of my layout here. Those are some Paige Evans cut files that I have from the Silhouette store. Excuse me. And those are what I'm going to use as kind of the embellishments for this page, or like the design detail. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the card that was left over from cutting out that frame, and I am taping the little baggie around the card so that it'll be the right size. And it also gives it that gray background just in case you do get to see any of the paper. I decided there was a few too many sequins in there. It was a little two-dimensional for me, so I just dumped some out, and then I'm mixing them back up, and I'm going to tape it around that card again. And the other reason for including that background piece is so that you don't see the sealing part of the baggie. I don't have a fuse tool. I really need to get one. I think I would use it all the time, but I just haven't, done that yet. So I am making do with what I have here. And then I'm just going to tape that down, and I'm just going to use the painter's tape. Because if you do leave the painter's tape in place, it does adhere more permanently to paper anyhow. So I'm just taping that down. And it's perfect. Look at that pocket. It's so gorgeous. So now I'm going to start placing my flowers around. And some of them didn't adhere very well, and I do end up going off camera and using a bunch of hot glue and making sure that they're all really stuck down really well. I should have just used hot glue to begin with, but I don't know, was trying to go the easy route because I was too lazy to get up and plug my hot glue gun in. And I used a bunch of glue dots, but they do not seem to be adhering very well. And I'm just going to place these flowers around. I cut all of these flowers out of some scrap papers that I've had laying around my desk. I used them for a couple other projects, and so I just figured I'd use up the little bits that were left to cut out all these flowers. And I'm just going to place them in the four corners, all kind of pointing in, and then the photo is going to go on that last square there. Sorry about my voice. And of course, this is going to take me forever to put these down because they have to be just right. And I want to get a nice mix of colors going around, so. And the photo that I'm choosing is one that I have scrapped before, but I really love it, and it was perfect for this page, so I'm just doing it again. And it's of Evie. She's sitting in front of a field of wildflowers and weeds and other things, and it's just perfect for this layout, so I decided why not? I'll just use it again. And now I'm using some of those extra sequins and putting them around the flower clusters just for some added sparkle and shine. And yeah, so if you don't already, you should definitely subscribe to the Spiegel Mom Scraps YouTube channel. You don't want to miss out on anything that we have going on, and you get to see all of the wonderful inspiration with the new mixes and everything. And then also, if you don't already, head on over to the Facebook group, which is 15 Minutes to Scrap with Spiegel Mom Scraps, and sign up there, as well as the Instagram feed, because that's where you're going to find out about all of the new releases and if there's any specials or sales going on. So definitely head on over and follow in all of those places. So now this is kind of the finished layout. I added the word lovely in those gray foam thickers. I think they might be Lullaby thickers, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And then I'm just taking some gray watercolor here and a thin paintbrush, and I'm just going around the outside edge to kind of, you know, keep everything in the layout. So it's something I've been doing a lot lately, is outlining my layouts, and I thought, hey, I'll just keep with this watercolor theme. So I hope you enjoy. Like I said, head on over and follow us in all of those areas, and I'm going to add a few more sequins along the edge where I would usually do like a little doodle. I'm just going to add sequins there instead. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye!